Hey, there we go. Now we have audio. Sorry about that. Little rush tonight. Hey, welcome to another edition of Ranch Talk Live. I'm Mike,
I'm Erin.
and this is Our Wyoming Life. Everybody, if you can hear me, just somebody give me a shout out here. Just make sure that you can hear me. Sound awesome. Thanks, Junkman.
Sorry, guys.
With haying and everything else going on, we're just a little tiny. It's normal. We're rushed, and that's just kind of how things go. But I wanted to start things off tonight by thanking everybody and congratulating you guys on the fact that this week we hit 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we passed 3,000 on Facebook as well. So awesome for you guys. That's and it's good for us as well.
Yeah.
But I think it shows some good things are happening, and we're kind of chugging right along here. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yes, thank you guys very much. We appreciate each and every single one of you guys. So.
Yes, thank you very much. The other things I wanted to go over really quick here in the beginning is the fact that I've been getting a lot of emails lately on where do I find you more from you guys. So I thought I'd run through it because I guess it's not enough. I'm going to run through, of course you can find us on Facebook, Our Wyoming Life, like us on Facebook, and you can track stuff on Facebooks, the Facebookus that you don't find anywhere else. Erin posts stuff on there all the time.
And Instagram.
And Instagram, Our Wyoming Life as well.
Mike is you post a little bit on Twitter.
I post a little bit. I'm trying to get better about that. We do have a Twitter account as well, and I'm working on getting in the groove of that. I forget all the time because I'm filming or I'm doing something else, and it's.
And I do most of the posting to Instagram and Facebook, and Mike answers comments and DMs and all that stuff. But I bug you all the time. Take a video. Take a picture.
Send this to me so I can put it on social media. So also our podcast. And this week's our podcast comes out on Friday. You can find it on anchor.fm. There's an Anchor app for your iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's.
Is it just for iPhone?
I don't know. That's what I was I don't know if it's for. Matt can probably tell us, but I think you can get it on Android as well. They also have it on the iPad. And this week's podcast actually comes from an Instagram comment that we got. And the title of this week's podcast is Why Bother? So it's kind of an interesting story that Erin got into a conversation with somebody about, why do we even bother to do this if we're not making millions of dollars? Who cares? And there's a lot more underlying to it. And we're going to get into that tonight as well because there's some really cool stuff coming up. We've got mail call. We have one item tonight for mail call, and it's actually a really cool and generous thing that somebody did. And that's going to be our mail call for tonight because we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that and who that affects. And it's not us. So
it's kind of us.
It's kind of us, but it's going to affect way more than us. So that's a good thing. Thanks to everybody who's coming out so far tonight. Gary is here. We've got PA Farms is here. I haven't seen you guys for a while. And our moderators, Ron is here, Nash Guy, and Matt is here along with Guy in Wyoming. Check out his channel as well if you haven't. Some cool stuff going on there. What do you have going on right now? I'm so far behind on everything.
Blake?
What does Blake have going on?
He said he broke his mower or swather or something.
Oh, well.
That was in the comments.
That happens. We've been dealing with broken tractors.
If you like us on Facebook and Instagram, you will know that we had 3 broken down tractors.
All
we
at one
still
time.
have one broken
We
down
still have
tractor.
one broken down because we're waiting for parts. So right now, I've already cut, raked, and baled one 50-acre field, and just to kind of give us an idea of where we're sitting. And that's like, you switch around tractors a lot. When we have 3 tractors, you basically have one tractor hooked up to the mower, one tractor hooked up to the rake, and one hooked up to the baler. And when you have 2 tractors, then you're switching stuff around. So that's kind of what. And we're going to talk about haying as well tonight, and kind of give you guys an idea of where we sit. It's not great. It's not horrible either.
It's better.
It's better than it was last year. So we've had a few. Well, we had that one field today to test and see how things look, and if things hold through the entire thing. We're still going to end up buying hay, but it won't be as much as last year.
Buying hay or selling cows, one or the other.
Exactly. We're going to talk about that a little bit later and how we figure that out. We're also going to answer your questions. So if you have questions, feel free to throw them up there. We're going to do a little Q&A tonight. And what else do we have going on?
Farmers Market starts next week.
It does. Are you ready for Farmers Market?
My life is a disaster. Like, my mom went to the grocery store for us today because we don't even have time to go to the grocery store right now.
I know it's a
So,
little hectic.
Yeah, we had company here last week.
We did. A friend of mine, if you subscribe to the Herd Report, you met him on the Herd Report. His name is Chad. He came down from up in Montana for his vacation with his daughter Jasmine, who is a wonderful 15 going on 27 years old. And they came down, hung out with us for 4 days, and I put them to work. Is what we did. I mean,
we did,
and it didn't bother them that much. I don't think
it was a blessing to have them.
Right.
We could have had them for a lot longer.
It would have been nice.
We're so far behind. It's
you throw in the 4th of July, by the way. Happy 4th of July to everybody.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Belated 4th of July. But ours was pretty good. We had our usual 3rd of July party, which we did not film, which was kind of nice. Last year we did film it, quite a bit of it, and we made a video out of it, included the fire truck and stuff like that.
Watch the video from last year to see what we do on the 3rd of July. No, not much changed. It rained this year. And
it did.
And then it turned nice and we got to do fireworks. But the party was pretty much the same. So we didn't film it.
Right. And Chad and Jasmine were here for that. And like I said, we put them to work. Chad went out and cut for me for a while before he broke the tractor.
Broke the mower.
And broke the mower. And then...
what else did he break? Your mirror on your Firebird.
Yeah, he was leaning on the Firebird and broke the mirror off, and then he broke the back of the 4-wheeler. So that's what you get when you have company.
Chad helped and Chad cost us. No, none of the stuff on the tractor was his fault or anything.
No, it was just when you pull out tractors to get to haying, and Blake can probably attest to this. You know, you start running them a lot harder, you run them a lot faster than you do.
It's hot. It's not winter time.
And things tend to break. So that's just kind of how it goes. So if you have any questions, feel free to throw them up here. I know PA Farms is aching to know how the 50 acres went. Should we just get right into that?
Yeah, just talk about haying. Everybody wants to know about haying.
Let's talk. Yeah, we've been getting a lot. As soon as we started haying.
There's videos on Facebook and Instagram of haying.
Right. And we're going to do a series on YouTube of haying as well. But so this year, we usually start out in the field here that's closest to home. And it's been a decent field. We've had some years where we get 100 bales off of this 50 acres, which is great. That's over a ton an acre. Last couple of years, with last year was drought year, and we got half a ton an acre off of it.
We did?
No, we got a quarter ton per acre off of it. This year, I cut it. I raked it into single windrows. I went out and tried to bale it and realized that wasn't going to work. So I went back out, raked 2 windrows together, and baled it that way. You don't want that hay hanging out in that baler for too long.
It just spins and
it just turns to dust and it starts to break down. It's just not good. So I went out and baled it again. So off of that 50 acres, I got 38 bales, averaging 1,400 pounds a piece. I haven't weighed them, but that's if I stick with that size of bale, that's usually about what they weigh. And so that came out to 0.58 tons per acre, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So better.
Better. Twice what the yield was last year.
Not what we need, though.
No. So as we extrapolate out, it's a big word. Extrapolate.
The next 2 fields are typically a little bit better, but then we've got some fields that we'll see if it's even worth cutting.
Yeah. So. Exactly. So yeah, if we can keep that half a ton per acre thing going on, we'll be right at about 300 tons, and we need about 450. So we'll still be buying hay. How we're going to pay for that, we're not quite sure yet. Because I'm starting to panic about this kind of thing. So like I cut this field and then I called my hay guy and said, hey, here's probably, just doing the numbers, here's probably what I'm going to need and how much is it going to cost us.
We've had several people that we've bought hay from in the last couple of years, so it's always good to stay in contact with them and be like, hey, we might have to be on your list kind of thing. So
yeah.
Exactly. And we're not super short on rain, and Mike probably talked about this in the haying videos. It's very critical when the timing of that rain comes and the temperatures that come with it and stuff too. So we need rain at very specific times and frequency, and we need it to be, warm so that hay grows. And we had rain, just maybe not quite at the right times, and a cool spring. I would say it has not been very hot.
No.
So the next 5 days are going to be hot.
We went through a few weeks ago and actually measured the hay And I came up with that half a ton an acre
Yeah, you
back.
were like 900 pounds.
Yeah, I was like 900 pounds per acre back then. So all the rain that we had over the last month really didn't make that much of a difference.
But you haven't cut those fields yet that you measured from.
No, but if I average stuff out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how things sit. So yeah, we're gonna end up buying hay. Erin figured it out that the hay that we can harvest now, if we keep up with this average, if we just decided not to buy hay, we would have to sell 66 cows.
Yeah.
If we wanted to just feed what we could harvest.
We got a long ways to go. We got a lot of acreage to cut still,
Mhm.
and so it's. I'm glad that you called, and we are on the list for hay and stuff. We got a long ways to go though. So until every single bale is baled, it's kind of like don't count your chickens before they hatch. I mean, we can tell looking at the fields that we're going to be short. So ultimately, it'll be up to my mom to decide what she wants to do, if she wants to sell cows or if she wants to buy hay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how many bales we end up with.
Exactly, and this is our only cutting, so this is our one shot.
Yeah.
At the whole deal. So that's pretty much it.
Yep.
A couple quick questions. What's the significance of the Firebird? The Firebird is kind of a weird, goofy story. When I first moved here, I had a Camaro for about a year, and it didn't work at all in the snow. So I ended up selling that. And our neighbor up the road had this Firebird parked out in front of his house or on
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, on the road for sale. And I would look at it every once in a while, and yeah, it's still there. And eventually, I decided I was just going to go up and drive it. And then I told Erin that I drove it.
He calls me. He's like, I went and looked at that Firebird, and I've been sitting up there for like a week. And you didn't go look at it. You didn't go look at it. And he's like, I went and looked at the Firebird, and I was like, son of a gun, we're buying a car.
Yeah, it's one of those cars like. It's a 1995 Firebird, so it was the car that I wanted when I was in high school, kind of thing. Just totally pointless, really, but it's fun.
It's fun in the summertime. Can't drive in the wintertime.
It sits all winter long, so that's the significance of the Firebird. Is there any CRP ground here that we can buy? That's from Arden. Actually, no. There's not a lot of farm ground here. So
what does CRP stand for? Do you remember?
Oh. Somebody just knows this. I can't remember what it stands for.
Basically, the government pays you to not farm.
Right. You have farm ground, and in order to keep the price of wheat or whatever it is up, they pay you not to farm that ground, and they put it in grass. And I remember people in Montana that had CRP, and this was back in the 90s, but they had CRP that they couldn't even graze.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything with it. It was just off limits. So they would plant it and be done with it. I don't know what it's like now.
It's called a Conservation Reserve Program.
There you go. Somebody knew. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
So yeah, that's pretty much where we sit with the hay. We have a basic requirement for the cows of about 400 tons to get us through winter. And then you add in the bulls and the horses and any other, if we have a really bad storm, we end up putting out extra hay, that kind of thing. So we'll figure out where we're at once we wrap up haying, and then obviously we're going to have some hay come in one way or the other probably. So that's kind of where we sit. But the rain, are we going to keep up with the rain? Do you think the rain's done?
There's not much in the forecast. It's cloudy out right now, and the humidity went through the roof. Yeah, we typically kind of dry out here for a while, and then maybe come August we get some like thunderstorms again in the afternoon, and we can still have thunderstorms, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. July and August are dry. Right?
Right.
I know you're reading.
I know. Somebody was saying that I sounded so motivated when we first started our YouTube channel, and then by the end of the first year, I just looked tired.
I always tell you need to have more energy in your videos. I'm always like, you're like, blah. You need to like... You're
not helping.
Well, that's my observation, man. Just pep it up a little bit once in a while. Mike's really good about, even if he doesn't feel like making a video, he goes out and makes a video, right?
Yeah,
you're super, super committed to the schedule, but sometimes you come in and you're like, I'm just not feeling it. And it's funny, the videos that you're like, this is boring. I don't like this video. I just don't know what to talk about. Like, those are our videos that do the best.
I know, it's weird.
So you should smile.
You're kind of mean to me tonight. What's going on? Okay.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me.
Hey, speaking of Ron Connor's pigs coming anytime soon. Erin, have you called the pig lady?
I called my pig lady, and she does not have pigs. So she gave me the number of another pig person. And just like I don't have time to go to the grocery store, I have not had time to call the new pig person. So
Pigs will be, hopefully.
But you don't have time to fix up the pig corral anyhow. So
Well,
I'm doing you a favor right now.
If we had pigs, I would have to do it. See, and then I would just get it done. So.
Yeah, we're gonna get pigs.
Watch us bicker for a while.
We're gonna find pigs. I'm gonna find them. So we need them. Pork is almost more popular at farmers market than beef is. I mean, beef's super popular too, but everybody loves bacon and pork chops.
And pork chops go really big. Yeah. Do you think that hay prices are going to be higher than last year? Yeah. Definitely. Talking to my hay guy today, where they're at, they irrigate, but they also count on the rain, so they don't have to irrigate. Once you start getting into irrigation, and now that's going to drive up the price because what do they have to pump water, or they're however they're doing it, they're piping water around. That costs them money for upkeep and stuff like that. I think last year from this guy we paid about $160 a ton delivered. He told me today probably about 180, 185. So yeah, price is going to go up.
And we might shop around some too. But again, ultimately up to my mom to decide what we're going to do. Cows or hay. This is the third year in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you both look like you've lost weight. Hard to have Rick. I actually got somebody else commented about that too. I don't know.
Thank you.
I haven't stepped on a scale in a long time.
Who's got time for that? I ate some cake today, so if I lost weight, great.
You had a piece of cake from branding, right?
Yeah.
Was it leftover branding cake?
Yeah. Yeah. So, where can we see your beef for sale to the general public? At our local farmers market. We don't ship, so if you come to Gillette, Wyoming on a Saturday morning, you can find me at the Gillette Saturday Farmers Market in the parking lot of the Gillette College Tech Center.
Yeah.
From 8 to 12:30, starting next week.
So this is funny. We had some folks show up to branding, which was interesting.
We had two sets of folks.
We had two sets of people show up to brand. One we did not know about. One we did. Christy Dunham showed up with her family. If you remember back a few weeks ago or months ago, Christy won some coffee cups.
And a shirt.
And a shirt or something
like that.
She's like,
I won my shirt, or I wore my shirt. And I was just like, oh yeah, that was like a lifetime ago. But yeah, she was wearing it, and I was wearing one too, so we matched.
Yeah, exactly. And they were great folks. They hung out for a little bit. They gave us some money for fireworks, which was very nice.
Yeah, they bought some steaks and made a contribution to the channel, which we spent on fireworks. So thank you, Christy.
Yeah, exactly.
That. And then we had some other folks show up. I cannot for the life of me remember their name.
I do not.
I'm so sorry if you're watching that I do not remember your name, but they were also very nice and offered to help clean up and pick up, and you were kicking cows out of the corral, and they hung out for a few minutes and looked at the wagons and fire trucks, and yeah. We do ask if you're going to stop by, please email us.
It just works out better.
We're not always, I mean, we're here a lot, but we're not always here, and we don't. I would love for you guys to come to farmers market and see us. Like, if you're going to come to Gillette, come to farmers market. Coming onto the ranch, we're busy. Not that we don't want to talk to you here in person, but we're busy. So if you could email us, we could work something out. And, it's kind of just a courtesy. Please don't just show up and knock on our door.
Yeah.
Like, please. I mean,
it's a little weird. It's just awkward. It's not.
And we are working on something so that you guys can experience Our Wyoming Life. But it's not ready yet.
No, we have a lot of stuff that we're working on.
We're working, and I know we keep telling you guys that we've got stuff coming, and we really do. We are so far behind on just the day-to-day ranch stuff. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed. I'm sure it is for everybody in their life. We don't. You know what? I feel worse for the kids this time of year because I get so much of, and it makes me feel horrible. When I come in and Mackenzie's like, I haven't seen you all day and I just want to, hang out and watch a movie. And I'm like, I don't have 2 hours to watch Coco. Yeah. And
we hung out in the house. Well, first of all, we do the 3rd of July party, so it's super late.
Yeah, it's been late.
And then 4th of July, of course, we go watch fireworks and stuff, so it's late. We all slept in today, and the kids, man, it was like noon before I got them up to my mom's house. Mm-hmm. So, and they needed a morning, and I did other stuff too in the house, but
yeah, it's rough for me because like the kids obviously mean a lot, but everything we do is for the kids. Mm-hmm. But at this point, they don't quite understand that. If I come in the house and I'm like, hey, I'm going to answer some comments really quick. Lots of times they sit on my lap, and they help me answer comments. So every once in a while, you might get a weird
Hey,
sentence in your
Christy's
comment.
here.
Oh, hey, Christy, how are you? We got your email today, by the way. Thank you very much. I haven't replied yet to it because, that's me. But yeah, we, I sit with the kids on my lap. We answer comments and that kind of thing. And it's weird, like how much of our life revolves not only around the ranch, but also now YouTube, where it's like, they know as soon as I come in the door, are you answering comments? Yep, let's go in. Let's answer some
We had
comments.
to go. We took that thumbnail that we used when you scheduled live stream, and like we were Lincoln's sleeping, and the girls were just playing and watching TV and stuff, and we're like, we're gonna go take a picture. And Kenzie's like, what? Why? What are you taking a picture for? And Grace is like, for live stream. It's live stream night. It's like, yep, Grace, you're right. So
Yeah.
be right back.
So yeah, it's an interesting deal to try to manage that with with the kids and everything else. It's even our vacation, even like over not our vacation, but over the 4th of July, Chad's vacation here was a working vacation, and being able to hang out with a friend of mine that I haven't seen in 3 years. I think was the last time I saw him. I went up to Montana and saw him up there, and we hung out, and we went and worked most of the time.
You got to have a trip to Sundance to John Deere to get
We
parts.
did. We went to John Deere to get parts, and we hung out. We put your doors on the high tunnel. We got those roll-up doors done, and Jasmine was funny. Jasmine now, I've known her, well, since she was born, but, and she's now to that age where she wants to hang out with us when we go and work and stuff like that. So if you caught that video that was in the herd report, she took a lot of that video, and she was kind of narrating and commenting throughout it too. And she said something about along the lines. It's just funny watching you guys work together, because I've known Chad for 20 some odd years, and we just give each other crap the whole time. And
there was some cussing in that herd report video.
There was a little bit. I bleeped it out.
You did.
Most of it was Chad, but yeah.
Yeah, and Jasmine helped me. Like, it was super nice to have them here, but like we still did our regular YouTube schedule, but like we have a routine, like a schedule, and like we have a posted schedule of like when we have to edit and post and all that stuff. And we still worked around Chad and Jasmine being here, but it was kind of not that like we wanted them to leave. Like, it was nice to have them here, but at the same time, it was like, okay, now like we got to get through the 4th, and we got to, we had branding and the 4th, and we had company, and it was kind of like, okay, now we can not like take a breath or anything, but it's like, okay, now we got to get back into a little more structured routine.
Right, right, and we're back into that now.
We're back. I mean, we didn't miss anything.
I don't think so.
Let's answer some questions.
Let's a couple questions. I saw one back here about my hat, and I missed it. What size hat do you wear, and what type? These are Stetsons. This is a Stetson, I do believe. I could not tell you. 7 1/4 or 58 centimeters or millimeters? Centimeters. Centimeters. So yeah, 7 1/4. I usually wear Stetsons. My summer hat, I usually get like a cheap hat, and I couldn't find it this year. So the one that I like, so I ended up getting a Stetson. So they're Stetsons.
And you already ruined it.
I did. It's already hammered, and then yeah, it happens. And I cracked my head today crawling underneath the baler and cut my head open. It was clogged with a rock. I sucked up a rock. And
can you tell when they're coming or not really?
You can hear them clank sometimes. If you catch it, you can catch it in time. Or if you see them, you can stop and jump out. No, that's the problem. The way that we do it with the wheel rake is the wheel rake can move rocks, man. That thing can chug some rocks along. So it puts the rocks into the windrow, and then you're finding rocks. So, but yeah, everything seems to be up and working, except for the 4055. Baler's working fine, except for I do have one. We might have a quick video on how to replace a belt on a baler, because I have a belt that's ripping. It started to kind of rip a little bit, and I have a feeling it's going to probably go at some point here during hang. Terry asked, do we ever use alfalfa?
Alfalfa.
We have alfalfa in a few of the fields. We reseeded a couple of years ago. We reseeded 250 acres. We reseeded that with alfalfa, but we do have a couple existing alfalfa mix, obviously, not pure alfalfa. And then we have alfalfa in the fields before we even came here. So
yeah. Alfalfa mix. That's what
we like. Alfalfa.
That's what dryland farming here in Northeast Wyoming is. Crested and a few other grasses, and crested wheat, a few other grasses, and a little bit of alfalfa.
Right.
So, all right.
This is my work hat, Ron. By the way, it looks clean because I took a rag to it actually before we started. So.
Daniel is new from Colorado. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate
thanks for finding us, Daniel. That's awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
We got a $50 super chat from Vacuum.
$50 and no comment.
And you commented, you super chatted during live stream too, or during branding.
Really? Well, thank you very much. We really do
Vacuum?
appreciate that.
I know Vacuum was there for all of live stream. Pretty sure he super chatted too. I guess I don't know, are you a girl or a boy? Girl or a boy?
Why, are you profiling this person?
No, but I said he. But hate to say, maybe it's girl. Thank you. And feel free if you throw up a super chat to ask a question.
Yeah, super chats are awesome. They're great. Great for us, I guess. I was going to say, okay, questions. Hat money. Yeah. I spent a lot of money on hats.
Hats and cameras.
Hats and cameras. There was a question I just saw that I wanted to answer, and I missed it. How do you find your stocking rate? That one's from Evan Dickens. Your stocking rate is, you can usually go to your local extension office. They'll have it.
Yeah. Or your state university that specializes in agriculture.
Yeah, they're gonna pretty much have your stocking rate. Now, it may vary depending where you're at. Throughout your county, it might be different in different parts of the county too. So make sure that you know exactly where you're going to be.
County extension agent.
They're a great tool. When it comes to seeding, stocking rates, even hay insurance, that kind of stuff. They're the guys that you want to talk to about all that stuff. So.
Chuckman said, Mike, you should just look into see what the shipping from Ohio would cost. It's only like $40 a ton here. I'm guessing he's talking about hay. How much is trucking?
So basically, I think we're paying about $1 a loaded mile. So if we knew how many miles away you were.
$1? I mean, that was like $4 a loaded mile.
Is it?
I think so. Well, ask Gary. He's your
Gary's.
friend.
I think. Yeah, you're right. I think
it's
like $4.
We've paid $4 or even $5.
Yeah, it's like $4 a mile.
$5 a loaded mile. So that's the hard thing. Like, yeah, hay might be way cheap somewhere else, but
I
think you got to move it 1,000 miles. Yeah. It comes out to be the same. So, yeah.
If you could figure out how to teleport it here, that would be awesome.
Yeah, right.
Pay for that.
Briel961, have you ever thought about raising buffalo? This is a question we get asked all the time.
We get asked the buffalo question all the time, and I did actually. There is a buffalo ranch in Campbell County
the Durham Ranch. You can Google it.
They're a pretty big corporation. They have ranches all over the United States, and I don't know if they're all over the United States, but they're throughout. They have a few ranches. And they raise buffalo. And I talked to them about going down and doing something, but that never really panned out. But buffalo require a different type of infrastructure. You need higher fence, you need stronger fence, you need different kind of cattle guards, gates, the whole deal.
I mean, our standard barbed wire fence is what, 5 foot? 4 foot?
Yeah, 4.5, I think.
What is a buffalo fence? At least 6.
Yeah, they're high.
I mean, they're at least 6, if not 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can tell, when you drive down Highway 59 in Campbell County, I'm all raspy, I'm sorry. When you drive down Highway 59 in Campbell County, you can see where the Durham Ranch butts up to the highway, because the fences change.
Mm-hmm. You can pretty much tell anywhere they have buffalo, because those fences are going to change.
The buffalo fence. Yeah. Like, it's a drastic difference, and their cattle guards are insane. We'd need new chutes, new corrals. Mm-hmm. We'd have to change our whole operation. So
I've seen this question from Matt a couple times. Why don't you ted your hay? Our hay, we really don't have a problem drying hay at all, and that's why we don't do silage, because everything here is dry, especially now. Once we start cutting hay, it's dry. So I cut hay on...
What is tedding?
It's drying. It's a different way to dry hay.
It's like you turn it?
You turn it and roll it.
Fluff it?
Kind of.
We don't ted, so we're not experts. There's probably some YouTube videos on tedding hay.
Oh, I'm sure there is. In fact, I think I had to look at one. The first time anybody ever asked me about it was like a year ago, and I was like, what the heck is that? Yeah. I cut hay, let's say example, I cut hay on Monday. I'll leave it lay until Tuesday, and Tuesday I can rake it. Tuesday I can bale it. Yeah. I cut hay 2 days ago, or Chad cut hay. No, was that 3 days ago?
The 3rd. He cut hay on
and he cut hay on the 3rd. So
and it rained.
And it rained on it. I baled it today, and it was at...
You raked it yesterday.
I raked it yesterday, and then I raked it more today. But I baled it today, and it was at 10% for a moisture level. So it dries out really fast. Yep. And that's good, because then we don't end up with moldy hay. If you have moisture, they usually say if you have moisture over 20%, you're going to start making silage, or you're going to have moldy hay, one or the other. So, but I don't know much about silage either, so don't quote me on that. I don't know much about what we don't do. I should probably research that kind of stuff. We should do like a traveling show where we could go from ranch to ranch and like learn about different things.
Rodney wants to know, how do you like the new garden power machine? There was a short video in the Herd Report.
I was gonna throw that on here. I didn't have time.
If you've signed up for the Herd, this is a sidetrack, and I'll get back to the BCS, the garden machine. If you have signed up for the Herd Report, but you're not getting the Herd Report, check your spam, because the email service that we use, which is super convenient, easy for us, like really user friendly on our end, sends stuff to spam all the time. So check your spam. I saw somebody a week ago or so was like, I signed up and I'm not getting it. Check your junk folder. I really like the BCS. It's the garden tiller. I have made my raised beds, and it's not a raised bed in the sense of like we're not out like building wooden boxes raised beds. It is I use the rotary plow, and I'm gonna have a whole video about this. It's like a corkscrew, and you throw dirt on one side, you walk down the other side, you throw dirt the other way, and you get this nice humped mound bed, and you get these nice walkways.
Yeah.
And then I still have to use the precision depth roller and flatten them and put my drip down and put plants in the ground. But there'll be a video about it as soon as I get that done.
Like I said, our video schedule might be a little goofy. We're going to try to keep on the same schedule, the Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday
There
thing.
might be bonus
But
videos if we can squeeze them in.
If we can get bonus videos in,
so
and like the
much
project
stuff.
report may be, you know, this is what we're working on for haying. This is putting new belts in the baler or whatever else we're doing. Just because I don't have a whole lot, I don't have time for side projects while I'm trying to get haying done. I figured it out the other day. With the sickle mower, with the Rouse mower mowing 18 feet at a time. I have 60 some hours of just cutting hay.
That's it?
That's it.
Seems like it should be more.
Really? Do you hate me that much?
I'm just saying, it seems like haying takes forever.
It does take forever because you have to cut it, and then you have to rake it,
and then you rake it again.
You rake it again, and then you can bale it. So,
here's a good question, Baka Boy. Have you ever been kicked by a cow before? And if so, do you have any tips on avoiding it? I realize that it's always proper to let the cow know you're there.
I get kicked all the time. Usually when we're working cattle, obviously. I don't get kicked out the pasture very often. And 9 times out of 10, I can tell you when our cows kick us, or kick me, because they don't kick Erin, because we don't let that happen. But when they kick me, they seem to kick until they feel contact, you know, and then they'll pull back. I've never had a cow out here kick all the way through me.
Horses will kick all the way.
Horses will kick all the way through, but cows seem to kick until they feel contact, and then they'll come off.
Calves kick a lot.
Calves kick harder than cows do sometimes, and they kick lower, if you know what I mean.
So cows kick, if you're looking, you know, if you're standing behind a cow, it's not going to kick back. That's the big thing too. You have to learn, like we had to learn this when we came to the ranch, how to move cows, like their personal bubble. If you're trying to move them and you get beyond their shoulder flank, they'll stop. Like you have to, there's a whole science to moving cows. We should make a video about it.
We should.
But they kick to the side more than they kick back. Right?
Yeah, usually, yeah. I mean, if you think about it, a cow is a big off-balance thing. And if they could kick straight back, they would almost fall down.
Yeah.
You know, so they kick off to the side. It's a lot faster. And you stay out of that area. I mean, honestly,
bubbles.
That's the personal
some cows
bubble.
have bigger bubbles than other cows. Bambi has no bubble. You can do whatever you want to with Bambi. You have one cow that kicks when she gets 10 feet around.
Yeah, she'll come up to me and then try to kick me because she has that bubble thing going on.
But she never makes contact. She
never has. She's came close. But she just has a very, very much saying, you know.
Okay.
Actually, we're already 30 minutes into this. Do you want to do let's do mail call really quick here, if I can.
You make your computer work today.
I'm having a heck of a day. I'm just, it's a rough one. Cut my head open.
Press all the buttons.
I'm not pushing And that's mail call. This one mail call is basically you can send us anything. You can send us.
Don't send us like anything. I mean, what if somebody sent us something bad? Don't send us like anthrax. Don't say anything.
Yeah, if you're gonna send us hate mail, just email that. That's save yourself the postage. But you know, you can send us a postcard. You can write us a letter. Our address is Our Wyoming Life, P.O. Box 667, Gillette, Wyoming 82717. I always get this wrong. 82717.
We only have 3 zip codes.
But there's one for the post office I never think about. So, and I always get them confused which one's for town and which one's for the post office.
There's north, post office, south.
Okay. I'll write that down. So today we're just gonna we get stuff all the time, but today we're just gonna go over one because I know for a fact that Erin's gonna talk about this for 10 minutes.
I won't. I promise.
If you ever listen to our podcast and we get off on the local food thing, Erin takes over the podcast. I just leave. I'll be back to push stop later. So
I'm trying to be better. Okay.
She's very passionate about it. I get that. This one, it's anonymous, really. It was a check, and along with the check, it said, "Could you donate this amount of your produce to your community food shelf? Maybe a short video to show that anyone can do the same." And I'm guessing they're talking about donating vegetables to your food bank or your food shelf. Make this anonymous, and okay. Yeah.
He said he loved the vacation video.
I love the vacation videos too. Those were fun.
Yeah.
But
so it was a check for he didn't say, I couldn't say how much. So it was a check for $100.
Right. Now how does this work?
So all right, condensed version. Yeah, anybody can. So I would, if you're gonna make it, if you have too much zucchini in your garden and you don't know what to do with it, and your neighbors are tired of it, your family's tired of it, whatever produce that might be, call your local soup kitchen, food shelter, basket program, even school programs. We have Blessings in a Backpack here. We have the Council of Community Services, which you pick up your weekly benefits. And then we have a soup kitchen that's also run by the Council of Community Services. So you can make donations of produce. I would call your local food shelter first to make sure that they do accept donations, but hopefully they do. And so a few years ago with Farmers Market, we started a program called Share the Harvest. There's always produce that's left over at the end of market, and you can donate that to the market manager booth. And Monday morning, Megan or Rita or Hannah take it to the Council of Community Services. And when people who income qualify come in on Monday mornings to get their weekly products, they can pick up what fresh fruit and veg that they want to. So essentially, we do all this through Farmers Market, and it's called Share the Harvest. So what this donation check is essentially providing is I will take $100 of our produce, not leftovers from Farmers Market, but I'll just cut and harvest and wash $100 of produce, and I will take it to the food bank, to the Council of Community Services. So my mind was literally like blown. Like I opened it.
She called me from the post office.
Yeah, well, like I opened it and I could see the check, and there's just a little postcard, and I was like, well, who are we getting money from? Blake doesn't owe us any money. So I was really confused, and I didn't see the, and I pulled out the note and stuff, and I read it, and it just like my jaw just dropped. I was just like mind blown. I so appreciate this, and this was so unnecessary. I will make a video about it regardless of the donation because it's something that I want to make a video about. But the fact that somebody donated $100 to our food bank in Campbell County when they could have sent that money to their local food shelter, it's amazing. And so I'm going to do a video about, my $100 donation that will go to the Council of Community Services, but I'm also going to show you guys the program at Farmers Market and how that works and stuff. So not a lot of farmers markets do stuff like this. It's something our farmers market actually is being featured this year during Farmers Market Week, and one of the things from the Farmers Market Coalition, which is like a national farmers market coalition, and one of the things that is going to be highlighted is the Share the Harvest program. So, there'll be a whole video.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure I have more to say about it.
Yeah, and the basic video is going to be about the fact that if you have extras in your garden, you can donate that somewhere, and rather than letting it go to waste. So. Yes. That's the whole point behind that. But that is very generous to our anonymous donor.
Thank you.
And it blows me away as well that somebody would be willing to do that, especially for not their own community.
Not their own community.
But I think that he's on the right line though, because we can actually get that message out there maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that other people can do that. So.
Thank you.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay. So Tanner just got in from raking and baling. Good job, Tanner. Hope you got some good bales out of it. Let's take a quick look back. Can you guys do a video on the I never pronounced his last name right, Salatin method of raising cattle? Here's I've had a few questions like this between Gabe Brown and all. I have contacted these guys because I'm not going to go. I don't really feel comfortable doing a video about their method
We don't
of
raise.
doing things. So
No,
I've asked them, that if they would like to come with us and we can collaborate and talk about the differences between what they're doing or what if that would work here. And I really don't get any
yeah, we
response
don't
out of it.
raise cattle Gabe Brown way or Joe Salatin. We don't do it that way. Not that there's not good things in each one of their methods, but we're not practicing those methods. So it would be pointless for us to make a video.
No, and that's why I contact these guys to say, hey, if you would like to talk to us about how we can change how we do things, I'm all for that. The problem is that as you guys know, and if you comment on Facebook and stuff like that, or on YouTube and stuff like that, that people don't really answer stuff very often. So that's what and it is a dry heat. That's what they tell you.
It's
when
not
they're
right
loading,
now.
Not right now, but as they load you in the ambulance, they're saying it's a dry heat. Make sure you drink lots of water.
All right. You guys have more questions for us?
Yeah, there's some questions here. My farming life, I am raising 2 calves. Any tip about feeding them? Depends on how young they are, obviously. We're weaning calves right now, so they're getting limited bottles, and we use Creep, which is a calf feed. It's a small pelletized feed that's really good to start them out on.
Looks like chicken food.
Yeah, it looks like chicken food, and they love it. And actually, last year, our bottle calves looked better than the calves that were out on pasture, because they just ate a lot.
Not better, but they looked good.
They look good for bottle calves.
It's hard to put weight on bottle calves.
Right.
So, reading. Sorry, guys.
Reading.
Could you do a 3D video? Is that even possible?
We would have to have a 3D camera to do a 3D video. And I don't even have a drone right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're down a camera right now because I ran over the drone remote. You couldn't have flown it today anyhow because it was so freaking windy, but haying's not going to be as... it's not going to be as aerial.
Yeah, until I get a new controller, which was really kind of a pain in the butt to find because they discontinued my drone pretty much. So I've been searching and trying to find a new remote control.
You got one, right?
I got one. It's on the way. It'll be here eventually.
Snake66, how's the tomato crop this year? Well, they're still in my garage.
Yeah.
So not good.
Not great. They will be out in the ground soon, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Couple days. Oh, the list is long.
It's funny. It's just... with haying is kind of like all-encompassing right now for me. So when I do have time to do something, I can run back and get it done. If something breaks, heaven forbid, then I have time to get other stuff done. For you, it's kind of the same thing. You've got farmers market starting next week.
Oh my God. We started a week earlier this year, and for some reason,
Why'd you guys start a week earlier?
I don't know, and I regret this decision. So I market manage along with Megan, and we have a whole board and committee, whatever you want to call us. And I voted for this, and this was stupid. We usually don't start until the 20-something of July. I don't know. Farmers markets are starting earlier and earlier all the time, so I felt like
You
peer
guys have
pressured into
year-round
it.
farmers market, though.
Yeah, and we go year-round, so that was a mistake, too. No, I enjoy the winter farmers market and stuff, but it's just, we skipped May's market because we had to do tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come June, we're still building the high tunnel. Come July starting, the high tunnel's still not planted. Market starts next week. Yay!
Yeah, just move right in.
Do your kids help with the bottle calves?
They do occasionally. They get out there and feed them and stuff like that.
They play with them and keep them company.
They do. They play with them quite a bit. Over the 4th of July, they were over there all the time.
The white-faced one was sitting in the feed bin today, laying in it.
I heard having a goose in your flock will help safeguard your chicken flock. That's from Dennis Scott Brown.
That's not true.
We have geese. How many geese do we have?
Well, 4. I had 5.
Yeah.
Right?
They kind of go off and do their own thing.
5 or 6. Maybe
I guess if they were enclosed together, there's more than, I don't know how many.
There's 4 now.
If they were locked in an area together, I think they would be better. But since they're free range, and they can go wherever they want, the geese go that way.
Yeah.
And the chickens go that way. And the only time they're together, sometimes even not at night, because a lot of times the geese don't go back in the chicken house except for in the wintertime. They'll go out and sit on the pond or something. So.
Yeah, no, it doesn't help.
sometimes.
I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. It hasn't helped in our situation.
From Becca Boy, do you guys make any square bales? Just round. We only make round bales because I don't have a square baler. I've thought about having a square baler because I usually end up buying some square bales.
Yeah, but like 10.
Yeah, but I'll buy a few. You know, if I could make a few, it'd be nice. I wouldn't have to buy them. I end up using them in the barn and stuff like that. A lot of times, what I'll end up doing is just saving the smallest portion of a round bale, the core of a round bale, and then I'll take that in the barn if I have to.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do buy squares, so it'd be nice. And you know, there's lots of people around. And not that I want to do any more haying, but there's a lot of people around here who call me and ask me if I can come and put up small squares for them, and I can't
You
because
get time for
I don't
that.
have the machine. I had a neighbor call me and ask if I could hay for him this year. I don't have time for that. So it's probably a good thing I don't have one. So I'm sure people would want me to use it.
I don't have time for that.
When it comes to hay, we are putting up over 500 acres in hay this year just to get as much as we can. And I might cut a little bit extra. I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to find a couple.
It looks really nice out here where the wagons and stuff are.
I know, it
If you
looks
could take
really
like
nice.
one swipe through there.
You have to move everything.
Are the pigs en route to Wyoming skiking? Not yet. We talked about it a little earlier. I have to find somebody new to get pigs from. My usual pig dealer is out of stock. Is that a thing? Pig dealers?
Pig dealers? They're pig farmers.
Farmers.
They're pig raisers. I don't know what they'd be called. Do you miss the cutter you sold this year? No, not really, because I know it'd break at some point. The swather.
Oh.
I honestly don't mind running the sickle
It always
mower.
breaks.
The swather is nice. I like it when it works. When it doesn't, it's just frustrating. So, and you know, a lot of times it's like last year, we started cutting with it. It broke, and then we were scrambling to get the other one up and running and get out there and get it done. So,
Yeah, you'd always pull out the swather and get it ready, and pull out the mower and get it ready.
Yeah, you kind of have to
because you
because
can just never. It's like when that swather. No, swathers are great. That was just a bad swather. It was always just like, how many acres are we going to cut before it breaks?
Before it breaks, and then once it breaks, then we have to order parts for it, and it's sitting anyway. So, yeah, and it's always something else that breaks. It's not like you could just know that piece is going to break.
Yeah.
And the other bad part is that where it breaks is on a place where if you don't catch it within about 3 seconds of it breaking, it's going to break 900 other things. So I don't know if it's poor design or what, but it was just rough. So I'm actually happy to see it gone, because then I don't have to think about it and wonder if I should be using it. I just know what I have to do. So that seems to work out pretty well. In your busy life, Erin, have you found out what that flower is for Lori? It is, I'll send you an email. I know what it is.
Did Hannah email?
Yeah, it's camphor, I think is what they call it.
Comfrey
is what they called it. It is not a weed, it's a flower.
Oh, cool.
So, and that's what I was told. So.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Mary Parsons, hi, I'm new from West Virginia. I love your videos. Thank you, Mary. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Did you look on Wish for...
I've played around with the Wish app a little bit.
Is that what Chad was telling us?
That was Chad was telling us about that. And yeah, I've looked at it a little bit. But
did you look for drone remotes?
No, I did not.
We don't shop on Wish. We shop on Amazon. Laverne, how much are square bales bringing? Do you know?
Last time I bought a square bale, I think it was like $8.
That's from the feed store.
That was from the feed store. I don't know what they're...
$7-8.
I mean, they're worth money. They're worth a lot of money. In fact, I know people that take big round bales and break them down and rebale them into square bales and double their money on them.
I ain't doing square bales, man. Yeah. We're too old to do small squares, and our kids are not old enough to do small squares. You gotta have like a teenager to buck bales.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you do need a teenager.
Did you ever help do small squares?
I did as a kid. I remember doing it a few times for friends and stuff.
Did you use hay hooks? Did you use the hook?
No, you just grab the twine, I think is what we did. But yeah, stacking and unstacking.
So much
and
work.
like
and now they have fancy trailers and stuff though too.
True. Yeah, they have scoop, there's ones that scoop them up.
Okay. Tanner says we have good luck with our Rouse mower. You like the Rouse mower?
Yeah, I love the Rouse mower. It works great.
It cuts.
And it cuts low and lays it down.
Low.
It dries nice and fast. You're not putting it in a windrow like you are with a windrower or a swather. So you don't have to worry about that. We don't really have to worry about drying very much, but.
Yeah. All right. Gary had to make microwave popcorn. Hope it's good popcorn, and he didn't burn it.
This is the comment Erin reads.
Well, I'm just reading, okay?
Have you ever heard Jason asking about a herding dog? We get this question all the time. No, we don't have a dog. Not a cattle dog. We have a dog, and once she's gone, then we'll probably be looking into that. Just something that we're moving our way into.
This Abdur, this is so much different than the ranch on Netflix. Yeah. Is it like episode?
I'm still drinking. They drink all the time in that show.
All the time. Is it like episode? We watched the ranch. It's funny.
We haven't watched the new season though.
No, we haven't. We're too tired for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. It was like the third episode. They pull a calf.
Yeah, and like I think.
And the cow just stands there. Yeah. It's the most unrealistic thing ever, but it's funny.
Well, and he pulls the calf, and then like 2 seconds later, the calf's standing up and
dry.
Yeah. I think I sent Ashton Kutcher an email too.
He
said, "Hey, if you want to come out here and actually pull a calf, you can." He never did answer me. So if anybody knows Ashton, tell him to check his email. John Smith, you guys use tracking apps for your cattle?
No.
Well, I use a program on the computer called Cattle Max.
But you don't use like a GPS.
No, I don't track them that way. But I do use a program called Cattle Max. But what I mostly do is on paper, and then I go and input it into Cattle Max. So I have notebooks and stuff around because sometimes I don't have service when I'm out. You can pull it up on your phone, but sometimes it doesn't work, and it's easier to just be able to look at it. But it is nice to have the thing on the computer too, because I can keep track of more stuff on the computer than I can on a piece of paper. I mean, that program, you can keep track of everything and anything that's ever happened to that cow, and you have that record there forever. So
yeah, I'm all.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Drink some water.
I am. Jordan wants to know, what's your best advice for fencing for horses and cows together?
I don't know. The horses are in the same kind of fence that a cow is.
Yeah, they're in barbed wire.
Yeah, they have. There are people that say that with horses you have to use smooth wire, and I think it all depends on the horse too, and how they react to it. Our horses, they have barbed wire around them. They've never had a problem with it. They're actually in a corral or in a lot right up next to the bulls where they can hang out with bulls, and they're buddies apparently. And yeah, I've never had a problem with that. So sorry, I'm not much help. You picked the best questions. How does swathing work exactly? Well, swather's more like a combine. So if you think of it that way, so swathing uses the wheel to push the hay into the sickle bar, and then it's gathered up. It goes through a couple rollers, usually like a crimper, which will actually crimp the hay, and then it rolls out the back in a windrow.
What's the point of crimping?
To preserve
moisture,
nutrients, and stuff like that. Yeah, supposedly.
Big head gathers it all up into a windrow and spits it out the back.
Right.
That's my explanation.
You don't have to rake it.
Yeah. Unless but you won't. You still kind of have to rake. Well, here you have to rake.
Yeah.
Because it's thin.
So you rake it together. So that seems to happen.
Kevin, have you ever wanted goats? Yeah, I want goats, but we're not going to get goats. It's too much work.
There's a neighbor down the road that gets goats every year, and every year
on the highway.
They're on the highway almost every day. The highway department actually came and refenced part of his fence to try to keep the goats in.
Yeah, Wyoming's a fence out state, so technically our highway fence is the highway's responsibility. They do a crap job of it most of the time.
Sometimes, yeah.
And so Wyoming's a fence out state. So if you don't want them on there, you're supposed to maintain the fence. So.
Yeah, I'm not much for chasing goats around either.
No.
They're pretty high maintenance from what I've seen. I've never really dealt with goats. Gilbert had a goat.
He ate everything.
And it ate. He loved that goat. And then it ate
seeds.
everything. And then he got rid of his goat. Was it a goat that butted him in the knee, or was that?
That was a sheep.
That was a sheep that butted him in the knee.
Are they buck sheep? Ram sheeps?
Mm-hmm.
What are they called? Bucks?
Rams.
Yeah,
bucks.
Ran into his knee.
Yeah.
So, what are you drinking, Mike?
7 and 7. The same thing I'm always drinking, unless I run out of 7 and 7. And then it's something else. So I guess, yeah.
Ryan from Humphrey Family Holsteins not answering any of your smart aleck comments there. You see that? Thanks, Ryan.
How much money do you make?
Listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast this week because that was one of the questions was how much money do you make?
Did you hear my eyes roll there?
I know Matt heard your eyes roll.
I don't.
Matt should run a counter of how many times Erin rolls her eyes.
Side tangent. Would you ever walk up to a person in real life and be like, how much money do you make? No. So don't do it to a YouTuber. Frick, man.
You okay?
It just irritated me. I mean, listen to the podcast. It's a common question. It's not a big deal. But would you do that in real life?
No.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Mike. How much money do you make? How much do you get paid per hour? What kind of benefits do you have? Is it even worth it? No. Who does this? We get asked it all the time.
Yeah, we sure do.
It's not the first time it's been asked. So it just happened like 3 days ago. So
yeah, and Erin, if you
yesterday, it happened yesterday.
Yeah. So our video is coming up this Saturday or Sunday. The video is going to be about mowing. We're going to break down the Rouse mower. We're going to talk about the tractor.
You're going to break it down.
We're going to break it down, baby.
You're not going to break.
We're not going to take it apart. We're going to break it down. What's this part do? What's this part do? What's that part do? We're going to talk about the tractor.
I might learn something.
Really?
I don't know. Haynes just like I rake.
Yeah, true.
So.
We're going to talk about how to fix it when it breaks. We're going to talk about the tractor that pulls it, and a little bit about how it lays down hay and the differences between swathers and sickle mowers.
You have swather footage from last year. Huh?
I do. I'll recycle some of that. And then on Tuesday, the video is putting out the bulls, so you'll be able to check that out as well. So.
And as soon as I get the high tunnel, the tractor work done in the high tunnel, there will be a BCS video coming and show you guys more about what the BCS is going to do in the gardens. So. Yeah. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe Saturday. Or Monday. Or next Thursday. It's just up in the air right now.
We talk about hay a lot this week. I guess that's kind of what's going on, but
it's kind of the important thing right now on the ranch.
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that the way that we originally structured the YouTube channel was that it does follow us along. Mm-hmm. Like we could go out and make 10 episodes or 10 whatever videos about stuff and then release that over time. But you know what I'm saying?
It's too much pressure right now. I'm feeling overwhelmed.
But no, what I'm saying is like I like the fact that it follows along with us and what we have going on. Mm-hmm. Lots of times when you guys see a video, especially like the Tuesday video, well, actually all the videos, they normally happen the day before, usually, unless we have some reason we
always say we're going to get ahead.
We're never going to get ahead.
It never happens. The only way we're going to get ahead is if we take a week off and we don't release any videos and we film the next week videos. Yeah. That's the only way it's going to happen.
That's probably the only way. But it is, I think it's cool because people, they're right there with us.
Yeah.
And especially like if you comment about a video, that's fresh in my mind. I just did that. So it's easier for me to talk about it too. But being able to just chug right along and put out something that we're going to be rolling right along with. So.
Tracy Messy, any recommendations on books for beginning gardeners? I like the Epic Tomato book if you're into tomatoes. I can't say really. The lights are flickering.
Our lights just blink. Yeah. We have a storm coming in, so again, rain.
I don't know that I've really read a lot of gardening books other than the Epic Tomato books, and then I have another book about cold weather gardening, and I can't remember the lady's name. I've seen Melinda Myers speak though. Shauna Coronado, they're both really good.
Yeah. Maybe Erin should write a book about gardening.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Unfortunately, even with all the rain, since we're talking about hay, even with all the rain and everything else, we're not going to get a second cutting. No. It's just the way it works here. It's dry land farming. It's done. Once we cut it, it's pretty much done. And that's kind of the same reason we've talked about rotational grazing and stuff like that, why that doesn't work so great here, because cows can eat down a field, move around, come back, and it's not going to have regrown enough for them to even spend a day in there before they have to move on. It's kind of just the way the climate works here. And usually by now, the rain is pretty much shut off. We're kind of getting a freak little.
Is it raining?
Rainstorm. I think it's supposed to. So, yeah, that one cutting is pretty much all we get. Do you see anything else you want to comment on?
Sorry.
How many bulls are you planning on turning out? We are going to turn out 6 bulls, I
No.
think. No, 5 bulls.
4 with the cows, 1 with the 4 heifers.
Yeah, and he'll get them
And
done
then
really quick,
down
and
with
then
the
they'll all
cows.
go out.
So 5 bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Chuckman, Mike, how many cows, I'm guessing cows, do you think you can put on 60 acres if you can easily supplement them with hay? Well, we feed all winter long
on 20 acres.
20
Yeah, they
acres,
don't
so-
move too far from home. That's why we ended up reseeding that feedlot this morning, or this year,
this morning.
this spring.
It does beat up your field, but I mean, if you're feeding, they can be in a corral if they're 100% on hay. So
Yeah, I mean that's what feedlots do.
Yeah.
They've got them all crammed in there, so that's kind of how it seems to work. Pesky deer flies in your hayfield. We have flies everywhere right now.
Matt says we're supposed to scroll up. Matt, what am I looking for here?
Matt said scroll up.
Yeah.
Erin, scroll up. Well, that doesn't help us at all, Matt. These moderators, man, they sure are. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Sorry that it's dry in Arizona, Jarek. Isn't it always dry in Arizona except for during don't you have like monsoon season or something? I don't live in Arizona.
I don't know either.
Rudy961, do you have any issues with predators? Yeah, we made a video about a month ago about predators on the ranch.
Yeah, we have here we've skunks, fox, badgers, bobcats.
Oh, Ron asked a quest. Jeez, Matt, come on.
All right.
All right. You want to find Ron's question?
No, not really. 'Cause I'm gonna. Okay, if you can talk about something while I'm looking for Ron's question.
Well, he's a moderator, so did you? Okay, Mike, did you get my message about last 5 minutes on your live feed? LOL.
Oh yeah, we had actually my phone ran out of batteries again. During the branding live feed, yeah, we ended up dropping out once again. I think it happened a couple times during the live feed, which is just it's kind of how it works. So, but anyway, if anybody has any last minute questions, throw them up here. We're just at an hour, so we're going to be wrapping things up. We've still got plenty to do tonight, I'm sure. So, are you going back out to work tonight for a little bit?
No.
We still got some sunlight. Go out and do
Like a
some
half
stuff.
hour.
Yeah.
It's dark early here. I don't know what time sunset is, but it's soon. Well, I guess about 9 o'clock.
About 9 o'clock. We still got an hour's worth of work to go do. We can go do something.
I'm so tired.
Erin's like punch drunk over here. It's an
I
interesting time.
have farmers market emails to send.
Oh, that's exciting. Like paperwork.
Yeah, I know it is like paperwork. Market managing, man, bad decision. I don't know why did I end up doing this. I know because no one else wanted to do it, and they were right.
Yeah. A couple of quick questions. You guys have any sponsors? Not really.
If you want to sponsor us, you could super chat us. We'll say your name.
What is the rifle in the Gator? It depends on what day I'm in the Gator. Usually it's a 22. Sometimes it's 30-30, depending on what I'm doing.
Mackenzie got a BB gun. We should go out and let her shoot.
Mackenzie got a BB gun. Chad, our friend that was here from Montana, bought Mackenzie a BB gun.
It's cute.
It's a cute little pink BB gun. And
she was mad at us because we shot it first.
Erin went down. Erin said, let's go down to the shop. I want to shoot this thing. And so Erin sat down in the shop for like 45 minutes.
We all did.
Pink. I shot like 3 times.
Oh, whatever.
I did. Jasmine shot a bunch.
Chad and Jasmine were here, and so we shot the BB gun. And then you guys had to, Chad loves guns, so you guys had to look at all the guns. So Mackenzie was mad, though, and I was like, we just had to make sure it was safe, and we had to sight it in.
To make sure that it worked. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to wrap things up. Ryan, you're more than welcome to come up and hang out at the farmer's market. We'll get you a booth if you'd like. But
it's $15.
Is it really?
That's all it is, yeah. We have a cheap market.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, actually, you can't. You have to be in a neighboring state. I'm sorry. You're not considered local. Sorry. You can come hang out in our booth. There's so many rules with farmers market, man. I could make a whole video about rules of farmers market.
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to sing. No, Ron. Gosh. It's your fault. During the branding live stream, Mike was like, here, Erin's going to sing you guys a song. And you guys would not leave me alone about singing.
Erin would never. You couldn't get Erin to sing if you like.
I sang the Menard song a few live streams ago.
Oh, yeah. Hey, speaking of singing, Erin's got a red Solo cup.
I'm not going to sing.
You can sing Red Solo Cup.
No.
Red Solo Cup.
Why don't you sing more?
Because I don't have a guitar here.
Mike used to be in a band.
I used to be. Many, many moons ago.
I roll number 142. Thanks, Matt. I've now rolled my dice that many times.
I bet you she has. I bet you have. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
That's me.
We are... we'll be back on Sunday. We're going to talk about the mower. Erin's going to have a video coming out here soon about something or other. I don't know what. The BCS.
And the Haas wheel hoe. I filmed that sucker like 4 weeks ago. And we've still not made a video. We need an editor.
We need something.
We need something.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Check us out on Facebook. Do the Instagram thing. New podcast coming out tomorrow morning entitled Why Bother? That'll... Sometimes I wonder. So you can check that out on Anchor. You can check it out on iTunes. Here's the thing. We post it on Anchor, and then it takes a while to kind of filter through everything else. So sometimes I'll post something about it being live, and it's only on Anchor. You can't find it somewhere else. But, yeah, keep an eye out for those. I think this is our, 8th podcast.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that crazy how time flies?
If you want us to talk more,
Babble on.
listen to our podcast. I'll probably ramble on about local food.
Probably.
You'll probably sit there and go, uh-huh.
Yep. And I won't smile either. The whole time. I'm
That's
not gonna
different.
Smile. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe if you like what you see. If you don't subscribe. That's cool, too. We will, like I said, we'll be back on Sunday.
We're both tired.
I know. It's ridiculous. Bouncing around in a tractor all day. All right, guys. Have a great night. And until we see you again, thanks for joining us in Our Wyoming Life.